It's Friday, March 13th. I'm sitting in my office in my house. Got an email this morning that the schools are canceled until April 3rd at least. And my kids are at home for the next 3 weeks. The markets have been all over the place in the last 3 weeks. And a lot of people, this is affecting everybody in the whole state, and a lot of people, I mean, really, this is going around the entire United States, and in a lot of places, I mean, it's gone around the whole world. And there are people who can't go to work, there are people whose kids are home with them, and there are people who, I think the markets have lost about $7 trillion in the last few weeks. And there's a lot of people who can look in their accounts and see their statements and see where that $7 trillion was coming from. And a lot of that is coming out of people's retirement accounts and 401ks, IRAs. So the markets are way down, and the thing that I wanted to record this short video and tell you today is that regardless of whatever's going on in the economy and whatever's going on in the world, as traders, we have the opportunity to make money in any market conditions. Now, I'm not one that I want to say, yeah, let's see how we can find ways to profit from a pandemic going on in the world, but the reality is that what's happening in the world is going to keep happening, and that the markets are going to be fluctuating, and there's going to be really big opportunities to make money. And whether you need to be home with your kids, or whether maybe you've been a trader, maybe you've never been a trader, but to be able to be at home and make money and still have your life function and everything be normal. And actually, while a lot of people are losing money and things are falling apart, you're keeping a calm head and you're actually able to take advantage of the opportunity. So I want to show you a few things. I was talking with one of my buddies the other night, and he was telling me that on the radio he heard really well known, you've probably heard of them, they do a lot of infomercials and radio shows and a lot of advertising. And these two guys are talking about trading. And they say their goal is to get to their charts and then not trade. And a lot of traders overtrade, and their goal is to not trade. So the market has to really show them something really great that would make them want to trade. Otherwise, their goal is to not trade. And we commented on how that might be good advice for somebody who's really overtrading. But for the average person who is not overtrading, that's really terrible advice. And you really wouldn't give that advice to most traders unless it was something that was applicable to their particular situation. And we talked about how within sitting down in a chart, within a 5-minute time period, we could find a place to trade. And I want to show you, yesterday, this is the S&P 500. I most heavily trade the S&P 500, and in these markets, it's really been all I've been trading. And this is a 10-minute chart of the S&P 500. This is an indicator that we use called backfill. And these prices populate where the market has a high probability of coming back to fill these prices. So blue means they're orders up here that they've got to come back and fill. And then red, which we don't see a lot of right now. Like right here, red means they've got to come back and fill these orders. So see, here's this red line populates right here on this candle, and then they come back later on and fill that price. So I'll talk a little bit about how you can use that. Now the red lines going on my screen the other way, or blue lines going on, are showing buy and sell pressure. So yesterday I'm talking with our CMO. If you found us on Facebook or something like that, that's because of him. And we were looking at the market, and it was right around, where are we here? That's the 12th. So it was right around this time in the afternoon, around right here or so. And I said, oh no, that's in the morning. Let's see, where are we? There we go. So this was yesterday afternoon. It was right around this time when we said, you can see we'd had a lot of selling, and notice how there was all this buying pressure. And then we're getting all this buying pressure over here, and I just said I would anticipate that we're going to get a pretty decent bounce, because there was a lot of buying pressure over here, and we didn't get a bounce, and so really anticipating that we're going to get a bounce. I mean, it's pretty simple stuff. I can just look at, there's been a lot of buying pressure and there hasn't been any real bounce. And so here's some buying pressure, and then look at the market, what happened today in the market. And this, huge push up that we had. So around over here, we started to say, yeah, we're probably going to get a bounce here. There's a lot of buying pressure. And if you look at this, let's say by the way, this is a 2489 right here. So that's a number that populated over here. So we get this number and we start moving lower. And the low was over here. We ended up hitting down around 2393. So this is almost 100 points. If I just was targeting back up to this price, which has a high fill rate, and I'll get to that in a second, actually. So if you see, we've got 1,032 levels on this chart. I think it's over the last year is what I have loaded. And we have a 99% fill rate. There's a 99% chance it's going to come back to these prices. Now in the first day, it's a 66% chance. Second day, it's 81, 86, and by 20 days, it's 95% of these prices are filled in 20 days. And 99% of them get filled overall. So that's, it's pretty incredible. We're talking about 10 levels out of 1,032 not getting filled. So let's look at this the other way. We have 1,032 levels, and all of those, 1,022 of those get filled. Okay, it's pretty amazing. So that's the analytics. That's how that works on analytics. Here you go. Right here, you've got it's red, 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 and we're moving higher, and we've got this price to come back and fill right there. 65 comes back to 03. That's 60 points. So if you're trading one contract on the ES and you're long from down here, that's a $5,000 profit up to there. This trade right here, that's a $25,000 or $3,000 profit from here down to there. And then you have, see how we don't have any red prices down here? So a little hard to go short up here because you don't have any, we have selling pressure, but we don't have any red lines to come back and fill down there. So we're very low for where the market's been. Anyway, that's just one thing. Look, we get red, and look at then all the selling that happens. So that's pretty amazing. Or you go over and you look at something like key turns. We opened up over here, these key turn prices populate, and the bottom line is this: we hold here, we trade up above here, and it's off to the races. And from 2,400 all the way up to 2,635. So that trade right there ends up being from right there up to the high right here. This is over a $10,000 trade on one ES contract. If you're long from here and you're holding it up to there. Now, I know you're not going to be long all the way to the top tick, but there was a limit up. So if there's a limit up and you're long, don't you think it's probably going to open up and go up here a little bit more? So kind of a no-brainer there, isn't it? Anyway, so there was that. And then you could also look at something like, here's the box. This is a 15 range. And you can see here there's a requalifier. And this trade ends up going about 25 points from right here up to there. There's 25 points. This trade ends up going 30 points from there to there. So if you just took those two trades and you called it a day by 7 o'clock using this, I mean, how easy is that? The box populates, it turns blue when you should buy and says buy. I mean, that can't be that difficult. And turns red and says sell when you should sell. And it was made for these markets. That's what I've been saying for 3 weeks or longer. And you look at this and you go, okay, that thing went 25 and 30. So this trade right here is, you've got 25 points and 30 points. So just call it 50 points between these two, and you're up $2,500 on that. And then this one went 15 points. You look at, that's by 7 o'clock. Right here, first trade of the day, a little bit of a rocky start. I mean, it still ends up going from 60 up to 76. So that went 16 points. This ended up going down about 5 or 6 points, and then got a pretty nice move up here. This is just a different time frame on the box. It's a 1,000 tick chart, which I've shown you guys a bunch of times. 76 up to 08. So 30 points on that. I mean, whatever you lost here, you definitely, you shouldn't have lost anything here, but whatever you lost here, you definitely got back over here. And then you're short again right here. Yes, you'd have gotten flopped around a little right here, but then this thing dropped 50 plus points down there. I mean, just those few boxes, by the time it's 8 o'clock and you're up, way big. And then there's prediction points, which are really in my opinion, the most amazing thing that we have. I mean, we have a lot of really great stuff, but there's just nothing at the level like prediction points are, and it's not for everybody. So, somebody who is newer or maybe doesn't have a ton of experience, something like the box is gonna, be very good for them. We didn't even look at this one. Key turns has been really useful for a lot of our traders. They're really loving that. And then you have prediction points. We come up, we hold here, we hold down here. There's a whole method to how we trade these. We go over that in the live trade signals. But I mean, we have traders in the live trade signals who have made 6 figures this week, 6 figures last week. And, we're not guessing and we're not taking huge risk. We're taking calculated, high probability trades. And we got traders in here doing everything from, micro accounts, making a few hundred a day, to traders in here making, pushing 6 figures in a day. So you can just see, I mean, these are the point of what I really want to get across to you is whether it's prediction points, or it's backfill, or it's key turns, or it's the box. Whatever it is that you're using to trade. And if you don't have these, just pick one and go get it. And these markets aren't going to go away anytime real soon right here. And there's so much opportunity. And so, pick something and go get it. And I'll put the links here below the video, and start actually capitalizing on the opportunity that's here. 2008 came and went, and a lot of people lost a lot of money. A lot of people made a lot of money. In 2020, the opportunity in the markets that exists right now is going to come and go. And you're either going to be on one of those sides of that. You're going to be the one who made a lot of money, or the one who lost a lot of money. And the question is, which side is it that you're going to be on? And the tools that we build here at Day Trade Like a Pro are meant for traders of all different skill levels, and to be used in all kinds of different markets. And so if you're saying it's fast or it's risky, or it's because you don't have the right tools. You don't know how to have something that can break down the market and help you spot high probability trading opportunities. So I don't know how things are going to keep going in the future. I don't know what's going to happen with COVID-19 and how that's going to affect us here in the States. But I am fairly confident that the markets are going to keep being very volatile and big swings both ways. And I am also confident that there will be those of us who will be capitalizing from those swings, and there will be those that are on the sideline and making excuses about why they can't trade. And hopefully you'll fit into the first category with this. So if you have questions, send us an email, support@daytradelikeapro.com. We're happy to answer your questions. But I would just say to you, I mean, Ryan bought key turns and one price from us a couple weeks ago on a Saturday, and Monday he made more than he paid for the products. Now, I can't promise that you're going to do that. I'm not even suggesting that you're going to do that. I have no idea what your level of trading or skill is like, but I am telling you that if you educate yourself and you take the time and you have the right tools, there's a tremendous opportunity to make money regardless of what's going on in the economy or in the market. and we're really committed that you have the right tools to do that. So go get the box, go get key turns, get prediction points, get the live trade signals, get whatever looks like it's going to be the best fit for what it is that you're up to and how you're trading. And then let's make the most of these markets while they're here. And then when it's back to normal, we'll just be back to normal and we'll keep doing what we do then. And, it'll be back to making normal profits instead of making 10 or 15 times what we would typically make. So the links are below here. Go get signed up and we will get you all set up this weekend and you can hit the ground running on Monday. And we'll see you in the market.